Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back, your movie guru, with another review. This time, we're going to be reviewing a film that I think is perfect to get you guys back into the theaters if you haven't been already. Things have been getting better on the outside, and I think this is, especially if you're a fan of action movies, maybe, you know, a little bit of mystery, a little bit of intrigue, thriller type film. Really think this will be a nice, hey, I haven't been to the movies in a while and I went and saw this. I'm talking about Wrath of Man. I'm going to tell you right up the front, I give it 7.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed the film. When I sat down to see the movie, you know, I saw the trailer. For those of you who don't know anything about it, it's this guy comes and Jason Statham plays the main character, and he goes to work for, you know, a security firm. Think of like Brinks trucks, you know, where they move money around. And he's got this mysterious past. You know, you don't know, you know, why he's going to work for them. You know, they make it clear that he's got some ulterior motive, but you don't know exactly what it is. And as the opening credits are coming on, I see that it's a Guy Ritchie film. So I didn't know that going in, and I am pretty, I wouldn't say a huge fan, but I've liked some of Guy Ritchie's films. He's done the, probably the ones I most enjoy from him were the Sherlock Holmes films with Robert Downey Jr., and Jude Law. Really enjoyed those. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is another film. He did the King Arthur adaptation. You know, I thought that one was pretty good. So, you know, I'm not in love with his films, you know, of all of them, but, you know, most of them, you know, I seem to enjoy more than not. So opening credits come, I see that it's a film by him, and I'm like, okay, you know, it definitely piqued my interest a little bit more. Those of you who know Jason Statham, you know, you're kind of understanding what you're getting when you go to see one of his films. He's definitely has been one of the bigger action stars for quite some time now. So, you know, that's kind of what you're expecting when you're going to see a Jason Statham film. It's got a 68% score by the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, positive score, and then a whopping 91% score by the audience. And I think some of that is based on just what I said, how the people that are going to see this, they're going to see a Jason Statham film. And this film delivers on the premise of what you think a Jason Statham film should be. So it definitely delivers on that. Lots of action. Some people, for maybe if you're a little squeamish, if you're a little faint in the heart, you know, you might not appreciate some of the scenes get a little bit extra gory. But, you know, it is what it is. But why I bring up Guy Ritchie is there's definitely, you know, if you've seen other films of his, there's some things that, you know, that I wouldn't say that it's like a signature of his, but things that you'll pick up, you know, things that he kind of does. One of the biggest things like I make mention of is, you know, if you see a Tarantino film, you know, eventually there's certain things that are going to betray themselves that show you, yes, this is a Tarantino film. I wouldn't say, at least I haven't noticed, you know, Guy Ritchie to that extent where there's, you know, an absolute signature of his. You know, those of you who bigger fans of his, you know, you might say I'm completely wrong when he does, but I'm not that huge of a fan where, you know, I've noticed, you know, a big signature if he has one. But, you know, I did notice that his films do have a bit of more cerebral element, you know, sometimes some elements of surprise and things that don't always go the way that you're going to think they're going to go. You know, they're not, they don't follow, you know, a tried and true formula, a paint by color, you know, hey, this is how this is going to go that you've seen in a bunch of other movies. Another of my favorite of his, Lucky Number 11, you know, went that way where it wasn't, you know, just this conventional film that you thought it was going to be. Speaking of that, Josh Hartnett, he's another one that makes an appearance. He's got a pretty decent role in this film as well. I haven't seen him in the movies in a long time. So it was nice for him to make an appearance in that, you know, and have a decently prominent role in this film. But so it definitely has the action, you know, that you're looking for in a Jason Statham film. And then it has that Guy Ritchie component where, you know, things are interesting because initially you're going to be like, you know, the film starts off pretty slow. But as it starts to pick up pace, you're starting to think that, you know, you get more enveloped into what's going on. But at a certain point, you start to think that, okay, you know, I know where this is going to go. I know where this is going to lead. You know, I've seen this type of film before. And then it brings to you, you know, similar things that you've seen, but in a new way. And I thought that did a really good job of keeping it fresh and, you know, keeping you from rolling your eyes glazing over because you've seen this 100 times, you know, but, you know, it actually did, you know, have you wondering what's going to happen next or where are they going with this? So definitely, I'd say if you're a Jason Statham fan, if you're an action film fan, if you're a Guy Ritchie fan, if you're a theater fan, go see this one in theaters. I really think that you'll enjoy it. 7.5 out of 10, just because, you know, I would have rated it higher, but, you know, there were a few things that I'd say just a little bit nitpicky. So, like, you know, it's hard to do without giving too much away. But, you know, certain elements of the plot, you know, while it was rehashed and it was kind of brought in a new way that kept things fresh, you know, some of the elements, you're like, okay, I've seen that before. And then once again, like I always say in films, you have to press the I believe button on a lot of parts. But some elements of it, you were like, okay, this film has been presented in a pretty realistic fashion, you know, and there were several things where like, I don't understand why you would have that play out the way it played out, because, you know, for me, it kind of took away from the film because it took away from the realism in a film that was, for the most part, you know, other than the crazy gun battles, and it was for the most part, it was pretty realistic. So that's why I get a 7.5 out of 10, you know, just as a film overall. But, you know, if you're just going to be entertained, you're going to see a movie, you want something to do on the weekend, absolutely fits that mold. You'll have a good time. You'll enjoy it. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm crazy, if you say, hey, that was terrible, not what I was expecting at all, I wanted it to do this, this, and this. Or if you think that, hey, Scott, you rated it way too low, should be higher, you know, write me a comment. I'm definitely willing to talk about it. Once again, thank you guys for your support. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next review.